UBC Radio Network, your national preferred choice. We broadcast all over Uganda and beyond. Join us on 98 FM in Kampala, 99.4 FM Lira, and 97.4 FM Arua. UBC Radio, inspiring Uganda.
Good afternoon, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to 98.0, 99.4, 97.4 UBC Radio. Welcome to Youth on Point. Second Uncle Philip, aka Uncle Philip, host for the show. And with me, I have one of the big professors from Makerere University. Please introduce yourself.
I am Dr. Deborah Ruth Amulen from Makerere University, College of Veterinary Medicine, Animal Resources and Biosecurity, and my department is called Department of Livestock and Industrial Resources. That is creating industries from all animal resources, including insects.
Okay. Now, Professor, the unemployment rate in Uganda has increased by 0.2% according to the research that was done in 2021, and the total of 2.94% in 2021. Now, we have so many people that have graduated from universities, and these people have found it so hard to get a job. And you, as a professor at Makerere University, how do you prepare these children?
So, actually, the way we teach our courses,
yes,
every course ends up to like you are supposed to be an entrepreneur,
okay,
or a product. Because, for example, if we take you through a module of yogurt making, yeah, I take you through a module of maggot farming. At the end of the day, you know all the details of how to set up a maggot farm, what to do with a maggot farm, okay, how to raise a maggot farm. Those are the same courses I did. Okay. And for example, we teach them beekeeping, how to set up an apiary, how to make products of apiculture. They come out knowing how to make products from animals. Okay. So they are standalone like enterprises. Maybe the only link that some of those youth, they have been thinking maybe big and broad and everything. And the only tip I can give them is that start with what you have. For example, I can draw experiences from my field of industrial entomology, using insects to make money. If you are in the village there, you are seated in the village, the nearest insect, for example, for maggot farming, is a Kasasiro pit. Maybe that market waste. Everybody is linked. Even if you don't have a serious market, there are weekly markets. Yes. So in the village, there are weekly markets. You can first begin by saying, let me struggle and collect one bucket of waste from this weekly market or from any slaughterhouse or abattoir there. Then you get your maggots. If you don't want to buy from commercial farms, you can also trap them from the wild.
Okay. Now, Professor, speaking about starting maggot farming or bee farming, now, that includes capital, investing. Now, we are talking about someone who's fresh from campus. Yeah, like fresh from campus. The parents have been paying their tuition, and they basically do not have money with them. And when we talk about maggot farming, what are the requirements for someone to start up such a business? Because we might speak for someone who's educated, someone who has done that course in particular, but there is also this youth who is there with little knowledge on how to do something, how to set up something for themselves.
That's what I'm saying. The investment the person needs, one, is where to get the skills. Okay. So, one, there are some facilities that are training for free or less than 100,000. You can get the training. Okay. Then you need, maybe you can even start with 1 gram to multiply your own stock, okay, which you can pay out of 10,000. We are now reaching, that's 110. Okay. Now, you may not have access, maybe market waste is far from you or everything. Are you near a poultry farmer who is struggling to throw away? Like, for example, I give an example of Kampala. Those poultry farmers are throwing away their poultry manure. You can go and collect it, okay, and raise it. Maybe the youth will say, oh, doctor, I don't have land where I can raise it from. Excuse me. You can then raise it on, you can first hatch the eggs alone. Okay. So in less than $1 million, I don't want to even talk about 1 million. There are farmers who have started their farms in less than 300,000. Okay. For maggot and insect farming. Yes. I can talk for the bees too. Yeah. The bees too, you can, a local hive is 15,000. you can put 2 or 3 local hives. But with bees, what has made many people fail or many projects flop?
Yeah.
Look out for the vegetation. Because they depend on the vegetation. It's where the simple math. The honey is made from nectar.
Yes.
Full stop.
That takes me back to my P3. The bee and then the nectar.
Yeah, the nectar. The pollen is to help them reproduce.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yeah. Now, Professor, speaking about starting up a business fresh from campus, when we are at campus, we always think of these big jobs. Yes, I've been doing this course, and we are facing a problem of students coming out of campus and they want white collar jobs. Now, when you tell someone you can go and look for Kasasira, they're like, man, me have a bachelor's degree. How can I even start doing that?
I have a PhD and I mix rubbish.
Please say that again.
I have a PhD and I mix Kasasiro. So, that there is no stigma about it. Me, they call it blue economy.
Economy.
I had to put my PhD down, demonstrate. Okay, let me give you a life story from my home. The people I employ on my farm are not my siblings, because simply when I tried to introduce the technology to them, they said I was going mad. I'm trying to tell them to start mixing rubbish. And for them, they have done this bachelor's. Yeah. They are like, now for us, she's a professor at Makerere, she's telling us to mix Kasasiro. So I had to demonstrate for the workers I got. Me, I go back to my farm, I wear overall, put gloves, I begin. Money is in that.
Money is in dust.
Yes.
So what do you think is failing us as the youth to achieve our goals?
Building castles without looking, because even God told Moses, what is in your hand? He said the stick. Throw it down, part the river. You are building dreams far away from what is the reality. What we have as Ugandans are the resources God has placed with us. Yeah. So we have to look within the community or within where you are placed. Look at everything as an opportunity. So there are some people who can lament and they are seated on an opportunity.
Yeah. And
the youth, sorry for interjecting.
Yeah, it's okay.
But the youth, I think, I don't know, professionals, there are professionals maybe out there who know how to how to discover opportunities.
Okay.
And I'm happy with maybe some of this kind of your programs. Okay. They need to be shown how to discover opportunities, even within themselves.
Okay. Now, speaking about opportunities, Professor, what do you, because you've dealt with so many people, you've taught so many classes, you've interacted with so many students, some even after campus, they usually come back and inquire from you, oh, Professor, I want to start this, how can I go about this? Now, what do you think are some of the main causes of unemployment in the country?
One, I don't want to talk about government, those political or whatever, lack of industries and that, those are far-fetched. Yeah. But immediately I want to talk about tackling on the human being himself.
Yes.
It is the attitude of the persons. Okay. Because when I used to hear from foreign investors saying Ugandans have a poor work etiquette, poor work attitude, I didn't know how until I set up a business, a farm, and started employing them. It's the attitude. Because if you go looking, I want to be paid, I want only this. So first of all, the graduates that we have, even when we have taught, even in the veterinary field and our department, we teach them how to develop those products. We do product practicals. We tell them in class that if you go out and there is no job, start this at this level. But they come out, in their mind, they have already fixed their mind. They want to skip all stages. I don't know whether it is social media that has pushed them away. They want to skip all the stages and go to a Land Cruiser. So they want to get your job immediately. They are not, when they come and see Dr. Deborah, they are not looking at the 17 years
you've invested.
So I've invested in myself.
Yes.
I sold milk in a market in Soroti. I packed honey and vended in my father's office. Then I got recruited. I did masters, yes, but I kept doing. They are not looking, now they are seeing this last journey. Doctor with the PhD.
They're looking at you in the harvesting period.
Thank you. Yes. So the person wants, the problem with the current use, quick in, quick out.
Money.
So that's failing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking about quick money, I'm sorry, I will take you astray in the spiritual world. We've seen people, of recent, we saw the country is fighting homosexuality, LGBT to be specific. Now, of recent, we saw Chameleon and the brother kissing on stage. Now, so many youth have resorted to entering groups so that they could generate quick money. What's your take on that?
My take is that the genuine money comes through hard work and takes
There is no
time.
shortcut.
So if it is coming that quick,
Yeah.
what's the price? If you ask yourself what's the price,
Yeah.
and if you are intelligent enough to reflect, then the price might be huge. And will you be able to handle it? So my advice is, quick in, quick out does not work in the real world. If you follow all journeys of entrepreneurs, the people who are successful, they have had to put in long hours, long patience. And then for me, there are 3 principles I can leave with the youth. You first follow your passion, then to be persistent, and then be patient.
Speaking about patience, right there. Now, we want to do a business right now and then get the profits the following day.
No.
But you realize that in so many people,
It doesn't happen.
No, but that is the mentality that most people have. Like, if I invest now, I want to start harvesting the following month. I want my money to start making profits. Now, Professor, what business would you advise someone, a starting youth at the age of 24 or 23, to do with, limited capital?
The ones who want quick cash?
No, not the ones
in business there's no quick
yeah,
cash.
there is no quick cash, but those ones are also
limited
there.
capital. I told them to look into natural resources. Uganda is well endowed.
Yeah.
We have natural resources. It's about the creativity that you bring in. Because by the time, for example, you are educated, you have been taken through university.
Yeah.
If you go back to your community and you find that your community is, for example, is growing maybe chili peppers.
Yeah.
And in the market in Kampala, there's a link for chili peppers. But you are also a person of credibility. I'm sure that village can give you chili peppers. You come and sell, and then you go and give them back their money. What is killing the youth businesses
You become
again?
a broker.
The youth businesses again, youth are also not trustworthy.
Yeah.
So they keep conning people left, right, center. And that doesn't build you even in any case. Nobody can trust you. For some of us, farmers trust us.
Yeah.
They said, my first job as I was helping the Sorority Catholic there, maybe the Catholic Church taught me some principles. I was selling milk in their dairy. Those farmers used to give us milk for free, then we pay them at the end of the month. What does that mean? You have been given milk, you sell, it's a trust system.
Yeah.
And farmers are trustworthy.
Yeah.
They give.
Yeah.
But the problem is, a youth will go to the village, collect people's chicken, come and sell, doesn't come back. So they will not give you the next time.
So what do you think has brought that in our generation?
The breakdown in character and value system.
So how do we get back to, to that system?
It goes back to the family.
Yeah.
Both family, because people expect miracles at the university. If you send a bad character at the university we are busy. We have a timetable.
Yeah.
So we at the university, we are helping them with the tools to survive outside.
Yeah.
We don't have time for character development there. We don't have time for those, all the character development that I had. I got it from our home, from the school they took me to. I went through Catholic schools.
Yeah.
And from all those things, you get character development through that.
Okay. So, Professor, do you think that also parents have neglected their role in this today and age era?
Yeah. If you don't raise your children well, who will raise for you?
The society. Because back in the days, in Uganda, there is a saying, "Omwana takuzibu omwa." I don't know whether you know that word.
Yes, these days, but again, you see, you can't discipline someone's child. The parent will tell you, who are you? Leave my child for me. So individualization of management of children, there is no more community responsibility. I'm sure in my village, no boy could con me. I couldn't even stand with a boy on the roadside without an uncle passing by.
Yes.
And if they see you, there will be disciplinary action. The information has already reached your father.
Okay. Now, speaking about, no boy could con you. In this day and age, we find people, I don't know whether it is the food they feed them on or it's what we see on social media. People love having sex from anywhere, anytime. We no longer respect such things in our society. But back in the days, it was really, really hard to see a child doing certain things. But now you find a child doing those things and you ask them, where did you learn this from? And they will tell you, I saw my mom, I saw this on TV.
Yeah, because the generation, people in Africa, we have not learned how to regulate TV.
Yeah.
Parental guide, you find people watching soap operas, which are PG rated 18 and above, with children of 2 years.
Yes.
So, there's a lot in those soap operas, and now some of them are translated. And so, you have desensitized your child early.
Yeah.
That these things are normal, so they don't fear.
Yeah, because us back in the days, whenever those parts would reach, you would either cover your eyes or look the other side.
Was TV even? TV was news, and at our age bracket, TV time was switch on Ballet Francis. News, full stop, shut, go.
Yeah. So, Professor, do you think that social media has also contributed to this? Because other people use it, to market their business, and then other people use it for their own reasons. Do you think social media has also contributed to the level of unemployment, because people try to fake life? They want to, people now about followers, people are like about likes. Do you think social media has also contributed to unemployment and to the spoiled society that we're having right now?
Social media is good and bad.
Yeah.
So, one, there's the section of social media. I'm not a competent expert there, but I've seen people make money from what we call content creation.
Yes.
And it depends on the type of content that you create. And I've seen in Africa, it seems Nigerians are dominating.
Yeah, they are.
So there are so many innovations that we can expose our country in a positive way using social media and people like. But then our youth, by a accident or confusion, they misuse it and start following wrong content.
Yeah.
Two, the regulators, my advice to the ICT team, because I've traveled, the interfaces of these social medias are different. So through regulation, they could also try to at least regulate whatever is exposed, the content that is exposed locally to this side. But yes, as a parent, you see in those developed countries, there's restriction age for the child to access. Even parents there, they are very strict. They look like they are liberal, but they are very strict. Their kids don't hold phones and go to Facebook and access nonsense.
But that's what they show us in films.
No, films is deceptive. Real life. I have interacted with the professors that have mentored me from Belgium, that have mentored me from the US. Yeah. They don't give their kids to just linger around. There are a lot of there are restrictions. Even time for TV, the child has regulated time for TV. Yeah. That's the real life, the other side. The movie is different from the real life. But what is happening, Ugandans are copying the movie.
That is why I said that
the movie is far from, and what is on social media is also far sometimes from real life. Don't copy.
Yeah. So, Professor, in your own words, do you think it is right to punish a child, to beat a child in this day and age?
For me, the format that works. I respect cultures.
Yes.
I don't want to be quoted and said, oh, you'll beat children and everything. Yeah. But if in that culture, that is what sends the message home, it should be applied.
So, Professor, speaking of culture and
culture,
yes,
because there is a way God created us with our cultures. If the traditional systems are very important, and those traditional systems help shape some of us to responsible citizens.
Yes.
Now, the breakdown in those traditional systems, you already see the outcome, and we are worried already what will come out.
Yes.
So, if that is the method that works, it sends a message home. But sometimes if you're not beating also, there are regulation, there are rules that they put in. There are other ways.
So, Professor, speaking of all that, thank you so much. Now, what have you done, you as a professor and also an industrialist, as you said, what have you done to see that you change, the society's narrative?
Me as a Ugandan, what I have done, I have social media pages.
Yeah.
But I made up my mind to focus on showcasing the potential of Uganda, to try and use social media to attract opportunities that can help more Ugandans.
Yes.
That was a choice.
Yes.
When I'm now in my job, I've chosen as a Ugandan to focus on mentoring my young sisters and brothers that come through my hands at Makerere.
Yes.
To try to tell them the positive side of things. Because sometimes when you focus on negative things, they become bigger than the opportunities that are around you. And then they block your eyes. You can't even see the good things that God has placed before you.
Yeah.
And that's why you see, I went down again further and said, okay, maybe in class students will not believe me if I tell them money can be made from these things.
Kasasido.
I demonstrated by setting up a business of that kind.
Okay.
So that, and my big ambitions, I'm going to expand and set up all insect businesses that are possible within that, so that they see, okay, doctor also is doing it. And to even show them further, weekends I'm on my overall working in the farm.
Doing Kasasido, a professor.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if we don't do that, because we have realized when we kept telling them, they're like, for you have your job, government is paying you, you are okay. They are not seeing. But now when you take they see, but doctor has also a farm. Then they begin identifying. Some of them that have come through internship to my facility, they say, now doctor, I'm also going to start. I'm also going to start a small one. Then they start asking. Another thing is that we have also become busy as people who got exposed to opportunities to give time to mentor these small people.
Yes.
We have no little time, time. Everybody say, I'm busy. Yes. Because sometimes they need talking too. They come, and I'm happy to announce to you that the caliber of students we receive these days, they demand for lectures. They don't even allow you to miss a lecture.
Not like our days.
No, they demand. They also know they're in generation trouble. There are no jobs out. They have to be sharpened and look out for opportunities. So we try to take them through. So the students these days are very aggressive at searching for opportunities.
Okay.
And the ones in science, we tell them there are a lot of possibilities for them to even go to the international platform and generate for us dollars back.
Okay, Professor,
Ugandan students are on high demand. When the universities where we were, in the other side, I think the people who went to study there, they really showed that we are very bright students. So every professor would like to supervise us.
Oh, so
that's the good news.
The narrative changed about, you come from Uganda, Ida Mini's country.
No, they like us because the Ugandan students are hardworking and intelligent.
Oh, yeah. Now, Professor, in just a few words, please help me make someone out there understand what the requirements they need to have for them to start up, a maggot business, and how can they benefit from it? Because yes, I can start it, but where am I supposed to sell these maggots?
Good question. So, a maggot farm, there are many maggot farmers right now, at least somewhere. If you search, even the New Vision has put up, you contact, even come to UBC here, ask for experts, they will link you.
Yes.
So, one, you have to get linked to the experts. We expose you to some kind of knowledge on how to go about it.
Yes.
Plan small first so that you understand the farming very well.
Yes.
Then two, the heart of maggot farming is Kasasiro. So the Kasasiro, not Kaveras, the one that decomposes.
Yes, like food
waste, market vegetable waste, chicken manure, pig manure, but chicken and pig manure, but even that should be fresh, that should be used fresh. So if you have a pig farmer near you who's not using IMO, there is that pig poop.
You can use that?
Yes.
Wow.
For feeding these maggots. So then you access breed stock. Less than 10,000, you'll have bought a starting colony. What we call a starting colony. It's like the way in goat farming, they say maybe a goat is 150,000 you start.
Yes.
But this one. So, but then what happens is it's not business like, I will start the farm on January. By March, I should have broken even. Apana. It cannot happen. So, when you start, there's what we call multiplying the stock.
Yes. Yes.
So, you keep multiplying. You start with one net. You expand to the second net. You expand to the third net. By that time, you are also improving your skills in managing those things.
Yes.
Then when you have accumulated, you now start producing, depending on your targets. You can start producing maybe 100 kgs of larvae a week times 3,500. That's how much.
I wasn't good at math.
Yeah. So they let them do their own math.
Yes.
So then you set your targets as you keep expanding, and then you will find that, and if you're persistent, the customers will begin coming. As long as they keep finding the product, they will keep coming.
Okay.
But then we link up with some of us also who have stayed in the business a little bit longer.
Yeah.
To help you link you to markets.
Yes. So, Professor, what are the charges if someone wanted to come and get knowledge from you on how to start this business, and he has his little money and he wants to start because he needs to be taken through something? You know, you need to have that knowledge, as you said. What are the charges?
We charge 100,000 per person to stay on the farm for practicals.
Okay.
A youth,
yes,
you have to spend a minimum of 3 days.
3 days.
Because they have the time, they need to spend with us 3 days. The first day is where we are exposing you to the knowledge, but then you remain practicing with the people, and so that you learn all the life stages, what they are doing.
Okay. So the school fees that you need to pay is 100,000.
Yes.
For you to acquire the knowledge.
Yeah.
And if you have your 300, you can start up your business.
Yes.
Wow. That is so good.
Then you start accumulating and expanding. Then when you want, we are lucky as Uganda and Kenya. We have the 2 largest insect farms in Africa.
Yes.
For maggot.
Wow.
So there are those big farms, those big industries need the raw product.
Yeah.
So link up with us. We link you to the market.
Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of the show. Now, Professor, in just 1 or 2 minutes, your last remark to the youth out there who is only interested in the white collar jobs.
My last remark is money is in dust. 2, look into yourself. What is your passion? Follow your passion. Your passion will take you far. What you like. Yeah. Because sometimes forcing you to things you don't like, don't. And then 2, adjust your mindset. Look around you and start looking at things and people as opportunity. Most people tend to look out for negatives a lot. Yeah. And when your mind is set on looking out for negatives, you can never identify opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much for being part of the show, and that brings us to the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and have yourself a blessed lunch. You've been listening to Youth on Point on 98.0, 99.4 and 97.4 at UBC Radio. Coming up are the news in English. Do not change your dial.
As Uganda works towards Vision 2040, UBC Radio is dedicated to the development of Uganda. Join us every day for transformative programs in English, Swahili, and Luo. This is UBC Radio.